You all, we are not licensed professionals. We are just here on this roller coaster called life, trying to be better friends to one another, trying to be better human beings on this planet. If you're tuning in, we are not opting out of therapy. We are not advocating that you listen to us and not see someone who is licensed and trained to help you with day-to-day life on how to cope and deal. So we advocate for therapy a lot here. We believe that everyone has something to talk to somebody about. So, just like to make that disclaimer that we're just here giving our opinions and having discussions week by week. And we're hoping that, maybe you can find something useful, or if at least find a little humor in this terrible, terrible rock we call the world.
In other words, if you listen to our advice and you get popped in the mouth, don't at us.
Yeah, don't at me because you may get popped in the mouth again. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Friendship University podcast where, we discuss how to create, maintain, and develop friendships or any kind of relationships, honestly, because people are our greatest resource. And so we're here another week, trying not to be trash. Hopefully with us not trying to be trash, it helps you get the motivation to not be trash either. I'm Kristen, and I am joined by my, lovable, humorous, pessimistic co-host, Miki.
2 or 3. I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what? Honestly, all those are pretty accurate. So
I'd say so.
let me think if I can think of some for you. Intelligent.
Honestly, thought you were gonna be shady for a second.
Intelligent.
Here we go.
Our unnamed, ambiguous mutual friend is taking pictures of Loki.
With the brightest flash known to
With the
me.
brightest flash possible. Anyway, intelligent, beautiful, witty, raggedy.
I mean, I do what I can.
I
can.
Resourceful, raggedy.
Raggedy.
Coworker. I keep calling you my coworker.
That's real. Tell me how you truly feel then.
Like I said, we met at work.
We haven't worked together in years.
We work together every week.
Against
touche. My will.
Well, you know what? No guns are present. No knives out. No tarp, no tape, no ropes. So I would say you open the door willingly.
Help me.
Excuse me if I sound congested. I am. I have been around a sickly baby who was continuously sneezing and coughing directly in my face.
No.
So
respectfully, F them kids.
Respectfully, yeah. But luckily, what they had for adults is not terrible. It is more of an infant kind of infection that goes around. But that with the weather change, because Atlanta decided to get cold again after giving us a mild spring. So I am doing my best. I got my medicine ball from Starbucks, and they gave me a venti, actually. I asked for a grande, so praise God.
Heard that medicine ball tea is pretty good.
It is. It's just like a citrus mint mix, and they put honey in it, and it's got like a lemony, zesty taste to it. It's very soothing if you're looking for something to like ease congestion or your throat. I usually make tea at home, but I was like, let me just get some on the way over here. I used to work at Starbucks, so I knew how to like tell them to spoof it up for me when I went to go order it.
Well, hope you feel better.
Thank you. All right, well, we're here for another week. If you're new to this, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. As you all know, you can anticipate episodes from us every Friday, Friendship Friday.
Sorry, I'm tracking my Uber order.
Oh, yes, you do have food coming. Are they close?
No, they're trying to find another delivery driver. This is a read for Uber Eats or Uber as a company in general. You're raggedy. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
I get it. I have seen, my plight with delivery companies. I've tried them all, but I would honestly say for me, the worst experiences I've ever had have been with Postmates.
People still use that? Isn't Postmates and Uber Eats the same thing?
I don't know. Maybe Uber Eats bought Postmates. I think one did buy the other. But they're still raggedy. Every time I have ordered from Postmates, I don't know if you remember a while back. It was episodes back. I was in California for a festival, and I told you how my Postmates order or driver just left the food at the front of the condo door, and a homeless person took it. I was
and
like,
he was eating good, I'm sure. I'm sure they were eating real good.
I was like, okay. And then there was another time where I ordered pho and all the broth spilled in the bag, and they just left it on my porch, so I had a bag of broth.
They said it was delivered, wasn't it? Okay.
So, they better count their days. But I'm just not, I don't know. I just feel like it's different when you order. I understand the convenience, but I just feel like it's different when you go in and place your order versus ordering online. Especially with Chipotle. They better count their days for sure. Anywho, so we're here this week, as a lot of you probably know. Is it Abbott or Abbott? I keep saying Abbott, but Abbott, I think, is the city in Texas. This is Abbott Elementary, right?
It's Abbott, right?
Abbott Elementary.
I say Abbott, but I could be wrong.
No, I think
it might be
Abbott.
a bot.
I don't think it's a bot.
A bot elementary.
I don't think it's a bot, but we're here. Abbott Elementary came back for the second part of their second season, I think last week or the week before. And so we thought we would just talk about the friendship and relationship dynamics we've noticed on the series so far. As you know, school, hobby fitting, school to school. Let's kick it off with, we took some quizzes to see which characters apparently we would be in the show. Mm-hmm. Vicky, you want to let us know who you got? Or I was going to say I could guess, but you already told me.
Well, I took it on like BuzzFeed adjacent. It was probably like FeedBuzz or something like that. So I don't really trust the results. It said I had got Gregory, which means no shade to Chris Rock or anything like that.
Hate you. That is not Chris Rock.
But like, I personally identify as Ava. Like, me and Ava are really so much more alike than me and Gregory. I mean, Gregory be over it. He be over it all the time. Like, he's constantly over everything. And I get that, honestly. Like, I'm always over it. I wake up and I'm like, I'm so tired today already. So, you know, maybe I would say I'm like a Ava Gregory mix.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm going to take a guess on yours, though.
I thought you would get Ava. Who do you, I'm pretty sure you already know who I got.
The woman of God.
But not Barbara. Surprisingly.
Oh, wait, Janine.
Yeah, surprisingly, I did not get Barbara. I got Janine. And I'm not mad at it. When I read, so this was a while ago, so I actually took a quiz. When I went to Comic-Con, they had a whole Abbott Elementary, what do you call that, like, experience where you could go through the school they had set up and all that, and they had a quiz there, so I'm gonna try to remember what it said because I didn't retake it, but it said something like Janine is optimistic and thoughtful and very compassionate and caring. It did say something like she can be a little bit naive sometimes, which I wouldn't say I'm naive. She is a little bit more green-eyed, bushy-tailed than me, for sure. But I get when you are passionate about something, sometimes you can want to make a change, and, you know, everybody gets so used to things being a specific way that if someone comes in and say, we can do it, we can change it, they're like, oh, we've been doing this for years. I've said what I need to say. Nothing's changed. I'm not going to waste my time. So I can see that. I've had many companies I've worked at where coworkers have felt like this is never going to change or whatever, and I really try to fight for advocacy on people's behalves, and sometimes it changed and sometimes it didn't. You just do what you can with what you got.
I've seen it firsthand. You've changed some things. You like to shake the table.
I do like to shake the table when necessary.
I just shake the table just to shake it.
You really do.
I'd be like, I have not stirred the pot in like 4 days.
Ooh, let's time. Go ahead. You really do like shaking it up, get a little spice in your week. But, that's cool. So, let's go through. Maybe we can link, I guess, a quiz in the description box, and people can take the quiz and figure out who their characters are, and let us know on our social media, on Twitter and Instagram and all those things. We'll have all those handles in the description box below. But yeah, so you are now on the Abbott Elementary train. At first, you weren't really feeling it, or you just really weren't interested in watching it at all. It wasn't really like a.
I watched the first episode with. I want to say it was our mutual friend. It might have been with all three of us together. But here's the problem with me and TV shows. My attention span is not short, but it is also like it's kind of like, how do I put it properly? You gotta catch it quick. Like if you catch it quick, I'm in. But if you don't, I'm like,
you want your
I need to
wig snatched in
like the first 5 minutes. If I'm not jaw dropped within the first 5 minutes, I'm probably gonna lose interest. And I know that has prevented me from getting into a lot of really good shows. But it's just the way my brain works.
I get it.
And I don't know why. It's just like if I'm not like shooketh in the first 5 minutes, I'm just like, okay. Like either I need to be laughing on the floor, I need to be like, oh my god, like how the hell did that just happen? Like it just kind of, I don't know why. Like I said, I don't really like it that much because like there's a lot of really good shows out there that I would like to watch. Like Game of Thrones, couldn't do it.
Game of Thrones.
I mean, I couldn't do it for a few other reasons. A lot of it's like a lot of softcore porn basically, but it's just so slow. I can't do slow shows. Yeah. But then I watched Abbott. What was it? I think I had COVID, actually. I had finally caught COVID.
Ooh, it caught you. You were dodging it.
3 years. I don't know how I caught it.
I don't know either, because I think you were in the house.
Like, I wasn't doing anything. Like, I didn't go on any vacations. I didn't go out to any, like, clubs. I didn't do anything. I think I just, like, caught it randomly at, like, the store.
It probably knocked on your door.
Honestly. And it was awful. It was pretty awful. I'm not going to lie. And I was like, you know what? Let me watch this Abbott show, see what it's talking about. And I was, like, really got into it. Mind you, I probably had like a, fever dream-esque thing going on too, but like it was fine. Yeah. No, loved it. Ended up binging the entire show up until now, and now we are on season 2, part 2. Mm-hmm. You've been an Abbott fan from the beginning, though.
Yeah, I am a Quentin Brunson fan. I am a Cheryl Lee Ralph fan, and I can't say I'm a Tyler. I think his name's Tyler James, which, by the way, I just realized his name is Tyler. It's Tyler James, though. I have never met a good Tyler. So...
Never.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because it's Tyler James. But I don't know. Like, I hope you're good. Prove me wrong because I ain't never met...
If you want to see a really good depiction of a Tyler, watch The Menu.
Oh, my God.
We're not going to get into it because I really don't want to because that was a lot of movie. But if you ever want to see like what a Tyler is and what I'm talking about when I say Tylers, watch that movie. Yeah, that Menaces. Don't name your child Tyler because I will roll my eyes at you.
Please don't. Ooh, terrible people. But yeah, I watched Everybody Hates Chris, but honestly, that's probably the main thing I know him from.
Chris Rock also plays in that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's not Chris Rock. It was just Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, because that's when he was younger.
Yes, but the person who played him is Tyler James.
Tyler James, Chris Rock, same thing.
So
honestly, when someone thinks Chris Rock, they don't think about Chris Rock. They think about him.
Well,
for the longest time, I didn't even know who.
I was about to say they actually probably think about Will Smith now, but that's
tragedy. Tragedy to that man.
He has a special coming out on HBO. Maybe he'll
Chris
address
Rock
it. Chris Rock, yeah, sometime this year. But yeah, so when I saw that she was coming out with it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. And I've always liked those kind of like mockumentary shows. That's why I like The Office, Parks and Recreation, just all those kind of.
I'm gonna get this canceled.
Why? I mean,
I hate The Office.
And you know what? That's the spectrum. You either love it or you hate it. There's really no one who's just like, I just casually watch The Office.
Oh no, everyone I know either is obsessed with it or they're like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Most people I know are obsessed with it.
Yeah, I'm not. Which I mean, but I love it.
There are some episodes that I think are pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, and I use a lot of their pictures and like GIFs and memes.
That's true.
But yeah, I just haven't been able to like really sit down and be like, this is really for me.
Some people, I mean, I get it. I like dry humor a lot. Like Seinfeld is one of my favorite shows. Living Single, which isn't technically dry humor, but I really do like those kind of shows. So
I like dark humor.
I get that. I can go for dark humor too. I just can't take an abundance of it. That's why I had to stop Family Guy.
Like, okay, Family Guy's a different kind of dark humor, but I like the kind of dark humor. There's this, what's that girl's name? I forgot, but there's this girl on Netflix who has a stand-up special about her like mental illness, and it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, no, Abbott, I really enjoy it. It's the first time I've been able to get into a show that, would you say, like, docu-find?
Like a mockumentary. Like, they're making fun of, like, documentary style filming. So, I knew right off the bat. Now, I will tell you, I did watch the first episode, and I laughed a little bit. But it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm super excited, but as the episodes progressed, it was like, oh, this is actually really funny. Like the character development was great and everything. So I'm happy that it's doing so well. I'm happy that she is making it. I'm rooting for all black women. So
always forever.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some of the dynamics. I guess I got the character here. We just rewatched the first episode where we saw that a lot of people wasn't freaking with Janine at first. She was a little bit annoying to a lot of people.
She's the new hire who's like, oh my God, everything's great. Can't wait to shake the table.
Very zealous. She was very zealous, very excited. I am really glad that the relationship she has now with all of the other teachers and faculty and staff or whatever have developed the way that they have, because you really didn't, I guess you really couldn't picture where it was going to go, like especially with Barbara. It was like, because she was trying to make Barbara a mentor more so than a friend, so it's nice to see a friendship kind of semi-developing between them.
Okay, Barbara's first priority is God. Period. And she was not trying to take on this child. That would take away from her time for prayer.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, Barbara is that kind of like elder who will talk to you and hang out with you. And there is that level of like, this is my coworker, but there's a certain type of elder. If you are under a certain age, they just are never going to consider you a friend. Because it's just like, we don't have the same, right? We don't have the same. Right? It's not to say you can't be friends with your elders, because I do have friends who are, in their 50s, but 50s, 60s. But I think she's that kind of person who's like, oh, you're the same age as my daughter. Like, I'm never going to consider you a friend.
Right.
But they do have a relationship that's built. I do like the friendship between Barbara and Melissa.
Yeah, because they're like, they're kind of like long-term work friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think they hang out much outside of work because, like I said, Barbara is too busy not doing, godly work. But when they're at work, like they vibe really well together.
Mm-hmm. Work besties.
They do things like at the school together, like different like class, like they'll do class things together, or they'll have like lunch together and things like that. They also have like a lot of inside jokes and a mutual disliking of Janine and Ava for that matter. But they're a good relationship. They remind me of my Spanish teacher and my physics or chemistry teacher in high school. Like they taught across the hall from each other, and they were always like cutting up, like always kikiing, always laughing, always something. Was it Spanish? I don't remember. High school was a blur. I blanked it out, but yeah, I had two teachers like that. Like they were always laughing, they were always doing the most and stuff like that. Yeah, I really like the relationship.
Yeah, work besties. I think they are for sure. Who went to? I think that was Jacob that went to Melissa's house to learn how to cook.
That was Janine and Jacob, and then they were like, "Oh my God, you hate your sister."
Yeah, that was that episode.
What?
Janine almost got her behind whooped trying to intervene. But,
truly.
Okay, so what? Okay, you brought up Ava.
I love her. My spirit animal.
But she don't. Ain't nobody. She not anybody's friend. She's herself. It's Ava plus Ava.
It's Ava. It's Ava's world, and they're just living in it.
They
honestly.
really are. In fact, how many times has she screwed these teachers in that school over?
Every episode. Every single episode, Ava's like, by the way, whatever was about to happen, fuck all that.
We finally got a piece of Ava's heart in that episode where she had to substitute for Janine. Janine was sick, and she finally realized what teachers were going through on a day-to-day basis. It was very small, though. It was a very small gesture. I think Janine was asking for like some paper or something for the copy machine.
And then she immediately went back to living Ava lifestyle.
She really did, but I'm glad that where she's opening it up. I can maybe say Mr. Johnson may be her friend, the janitor or the custodian worker. Because they're kind of one and the same.
Mr. Johnson's kind of like everyone's friend, though. Like, he's like the shady friend. Like, he's a fly on the wall / shady friend where, like, he's listening to a lot of information and then he can be like, oh, by the way, you know, like, whatever. I like Mr. Johnson. He's funny.
Yeah. So, we got...
I will say, like, Ava and Janine's relationship has definitely gotten better. Like, because of, what was it? The ending of part 1 of season 2, where they were outside the club, and Ava was like, you can go home and be sad because you ain't got no mans, but you can also be sad at the club with me. So they went out and did some stuff. So I think it's turning into like a wild older sister and responsible younger sister vibe kind of thing.
What is happening? Even though I think Ava may be older than Janine.
That's what I'm saying. Like Ava is. Yeah. So she's the wild older sibling, and Janine's the proper and prim younger sister.
That was cute. Yeah, there are small tidbits throughout this season. That's kind of, like I said, letting us peek into Ava's like true heart and what she feels self. Not just this snatched, lace laid woman that she is appearing to be. So okay. So what about, we got Jacob and Gregory. I think they're friends.
Not in the beginning, absolutely not.
I don't know.
In the very beginning, I'm pretty sure Gregory could not stand him. We just watched the first episode, and I can actually guarantee that he did not stand him. He was just, because Jacob was trying to use African vernacular. And doing it in the worst possible way.
The great Cornel West who said...
Let me tell you something. If I, as a black man, and if I'm just sitting here as a black man and you just talking like, you know, I really love what Harriet Tubman did for the black community.
I'm going to get up and walk away.
I'm walking away. Like, that best case scenario, I'm walking away.
Cletus, our old boss, tried to do it, and he got set straight that day. He never brought up race again after that conversation.
Because why?
I said, I don't think this conversation is a good idea. First of all, that's what I said.
We should probably not talk about this.
I don't, but you want to go there, so okay, let's go.
That would be like me walking up to like a white person and being like, you know, Donald Trump, really love what y'all did with that one. You know, just can't.
Or like, oh man, really love that work with colonization. It was masterpiece. Like,
honestly, some of your best work.
We don't have to discuss this. So I get that. He was kind of like that with a lot of people. I would say he's probably the closest to Janine. Him and Janine are probably like the closest.
I want to say they might have been friends beforehand, because we just watched the first episode again, in which I don't think I've watched in like 2 months now, which isn't a long time, but anyway, it kind of seemed like they kind of knew each other beforehand, which I might be making that
up. I can't really remember because it's been a minute since it was on, but I was kind of moving around. But
they're both on the younger side. I think they're probably the two.
They're newer. They're also newer teachers, so they're probably getting that bond.
What I remember though is it does develop in the future where like they realize they don't really know a bunch about each other. So like they're very like surface level, like we're friends to an extent because we're in the same proximity, but you don't really know what's going on when I leave this building. Like, you don't know who I'm dating. You don't know what I'm up to. That comes out later when we find out that Jacob is, you know, part of the Liga Biga Tigga.
Yes.
And Janine's like, why don't I know that? I feel like I should know these things about you.
And they start to get a little deeper with each other in that friendship. I could totally see them turning into like Barbara and Melissa.
Yeah.
Like once they get a little
That's
little weight under their
That's
belt.
Us. I mean,
yeah. Well, who was our? Well, yeah.
You would be Barbara.
Woman of God.
And I'd be Miss
Nails
Cementi.
done every Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see this show going so far to a point where it's like, we're in 10 seasons, Barbara's retiring, and, Janine's kind of like stepping into that new season teacher realm, and Jacob's still there, and then it's just kind of like, or Gregory, they slided my boy on the principal, but whatever. I'm glad Ava's on the show. So, okay, now to the beat. Janine and Gregory. Yeah.
I do like what they're doing with their dynamic. It does seem very natural. Or at least I assume natural, because I've never had this experience of oh my god, I met this person, but it's a, what's the right word for that? I don't know. A longing.
Bad timing,
right, bad timing, wrong place, wrong time, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so they definitely start off as I'm gonna say Janine becomes a confidant for Gregory, because Gregory's I'm just here to collect the check. I'm not really here to do nothing. And Janine's you got to put your back into it. You got to do this, that, and the third. And you might have you might enjoy it and stuff like that. And he takes her advice, and then things start to get smoother, and he starts to enjoy his job more and take it more seriously and things like that. And then that slowly develops into a full blown friendship for sure. They got each other's backs. She will tap him, I gotta go do this. Can you watch my kids, or can you help me do this, that, and the third? But there's also a little bit of chemistry there, where it's they'll look at each other a little longer than normal.
The slow gaze.
The slow gaze, but they both ain't shit. I remember the last episode of the part 1 or whatever, they were outside and they were looking at each other in the snow, looking about to kiss, and then ring, ring, ring. It's Gregory's girlfriend. What you doing when I'm at the club? Come on. He's like, well, Janine, bye.
Okay. I mean, at least he, knew, yes.
Niggas just ain't gonna do right.
Cheating in any aspect ain't right. But, it's a television show, and these things happen, maybe.
Let me find out my partner's longingly looking at someone in the snow. You can stay outside in the snow. Don't come home.
But I think because they do have a friendship, it also allows them to take into account each other's personal life. Because Gregory didn't try anything when he found out Janine had a boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And then when they broke up, and Janine, and Janine found out that, he was still in a relationship, whatever. She didn't really try anything. So I do think they are really good friends. Mm-hmm. And this is probably going to just be one of those things where the romance is just going to be drawn out. Because they can't get together this soon. They got to give us something to look forward to. We got to keep along.
We got to be a slow build.
Yeah, you know how you watch something and you're rooting for somebody to get with somebody?
Yeah, they gotta I will say the show does seem to go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like we progressed pretty fast in 2 seasons. So I don't know if it's going to be a numerous season show. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot more character development that can happen. I'm imagining a lot that can happen with all these characters and where they can go separately and together. So I can see, maybe at the end of the season we should have 10 more episodes, I think. So we got a while till we end season 2. But I like who Gregory is with Janine, especially as a friend. Like you said, they're confidants. When she was, thinking about going to dinner with her ex-boyfriend or whatever, she may have gotten upset with what he said initially, but he cared enough about her to tell her the truth. And then she realized it and came back. And the same goes for some of the stuff she has told him or whatever. So, yeah, I think their relationship outside of Barbara and Melissa may be the closest on the show. And I think they are actually friends, not just work besties. Like in real life, they probably...
I feel like everyone's kind of at a point where, like...
Not your
Not
food.
my Uber.
Did he throw it at the door?
Probably. No one Uber.
I am congested and tired, and you got food. I just did want to have a quick conversation about that. And, I don't know. I think it's cute. I like when we review the dynamics of relationships in like cinema.
It's fun. We both like movies. Abbott's a really good show. Looking forward to, continuing that. So I'm just going to introduce something real quick, or request our listeners. Mm-hmm. So something we decided to do this year is to shout out or have you more so shout out the people in your life who you love and appreciate. So if there's anyone you want to give a shout out to, one of your friends, maybe your mom's your friend, maybe your cousin, your bestie,
woman,
whoever, if you just want to shout someone out, feel free to let us know. And we can go ahead and get them that shout out. They're not going to get anything. Like, we are not.
They're going to get a shout.
They're going to get the shout out, but like we're not giving y'all $1,000 for the rest of your life. Like, this is not
the scratch off.
The 94.5.
You've won a free trip to the Bahamas.
Okay, no, yeah. So we're just a shout out, but yeah.
I think it's fun. I think that's really cute, though. Yeah.
Just a little way of showing your appreciation.
Yeah,
you can give a shout out and be like, "That's your Christmas gift." I give you a shout out on this podcast.
Okay, happy birthday!
It's very much in its infancy.
Happy birthday for sure. Yes. So all of our information will be in the description box below. Below, not below. Yeah. And if you have any topics you want us to discuss, any TV shows or movies or anything that you would love to hear about the dynamics of their relationships on, you can shoot us an email at thefriendshipuniversity@gmail.com. Even if you don't send in a shout out, just take a moment this week to think about who you're really appreciative for. Who's shown up for you in the past 7 days that you can really say, man, that person really has helped me. Or whatever, let us know, and we would love to let them know that you care. So, you can do that. Reach out to us at that email, friendshipuniversitypodcast@gmail.com. You can always find us on Twitter at Funny Podcast. That's FUNI Podcast. We are also on Instagram, The Friendship University. We are looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.